not an episode of Programming by Stealth. In this installment, Bart and I wanted to talk about his recent blog post on free, freemium, free for now, and what he's calling freepy. He says it's spelled Freepi, but it rhymes with creepy. Anyway, it's a thoughtful discussion about understanding what kinds of things we're getting for free and how we're actually paying for those things. We don't ever suggest what you should do about any of this. Rather, Bart is trying to help us better understand what's happening. You can find this episode in your podcatcher of choice under Chit Chat Across the Pond Light or in the full feed of Chit Chat Across the Pond. And of course, you can always go listen at podfeed.com. Apple has announced that they're having some sort of event on March 25th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Steve and I plan on watching, of course, and we're hoping you could join us in the nosillacast live chat room at podfeed.com/chat. We won't be doing any video streaming or any audio chatter to distract you from listening to the announcement. We just like to have people to text chat with and, hear each other's reactions, and we can all complain about the feed falling behind and that sort of thing. Anyway, I hope you'll put it in your calendar if it works in your time zone. This week, Steve and I went to CSUN's Assistive Technology Conference, so I've got a couple of interviews for you there, and I've got some stories to tell you about the event. I'm going to sprinkle these amongst the regular content, like we've got another review from Alistair Jenks and a review by me. Well, we better dig in. How's it going, Steve?
I've got something here that may work.
All right.
It's working on YouTube. Let's see if it actually works in the feed.
I am really surprised. I thought...
Okay, we do. We've got it
on
podfeed.com now.
Wow. So can you take that link and embed it over on...
Yeah, that's what I just did. I embedded it in podfeed.com. So we've got it in
YouTube.
Okay. We've got it at podfeed.com.
Okay, so
we have
try podfeed.com/live. Okay, Lindsay says, yeah, it works.
Yeah, I used your other YouTube persona. That one seems okay.
Oh.
I don't know
That's
why.
really interesting. Because I remember when we first set this up, you had to be worthy of being, having a real YouTube channel like this. And it's,
right. Both of your personas are worthy now.
Huh.
I'm not worthy.
Yeah, really. Let's see. So this
now the only trouble is it's going to be recorded in the wrong feed.
Yeah, that's okay.
Right. At least we got
we'll survive that
live video.
Yeah, it's mostly for the live people. Not that many people watch later. Mars edit on SCO. No, come on. This and then that, and then we're gonna do this. I'm making a chapter mark, even though Kevin's not here. Oh, who's in charge? Is Rick in charge tonight?
Yeah, I think it should be Rick. Kevin cannot make it, unfortunately. He sends his regards to everyone, but thank you, Rick. Thanks for covering for the wingman.
Al is looking very white. Yeah, this is strange. Okay, let me. I'll bring my brightness down some.
Chapter marker, please and thanks. Good job, Rick.
Boy, I hope you have a text expander snippet. Okay, let's bring that down some.
That's better.
Is it?
Yeah.
I got to find out if it meets Rose's seal of approval.
So did you notice Kaylee's here?
No, I didn't. Oh, hi, Kaylee. Woohoo. I was thinking about you. Will you be watching the live show or the live event with us on the 25th? Better? Okay, good.
Did you already announce that?
Yes. When you were off work.
I'm behind. So.
As opposed to how well you normally pay attention, right?
Well, I was trying to get your live feed up.
Okay. All right. I'm going to read something. Here we go. I had a total blast creating my latest tutorial for Screencasts Online. It's on the blogging software called Mars Edit from red-sweater.com. This is a fantastic piece of software that I use all the time for creating all of the blog posts you see over on podfeed.com. I got to say, the best part of doing these tutorials for Screencasts Online is that it forces me to learn every nuance of the piece of software I'm demonstrating. And I was surprised at how much more this tool could do than I ever realized. Another thing that made it such a joy to work on Mars Edit was the incredible level of response and help I got from the developer Daniel Jalkut. He's always been responsive to any questions I've asked over the years, so it's not just that he wanted to help someone showcasing his software. I mean, I'm sure that didn't hurt, but he's always been really good at helping me when I have problems. Even when I ask him the same question I asked him like a year before, he never makes fun of me. Not all people are like that, Steve Harris. Anyway, I really believe in Mars Edit, and creating that tutorial was a fantastic way to up my game with Mars Edit. Screencast Online Tutorials are a subscription service for people who really want to learn and bring up their game in tools for the Mac and iOS. You can get a free 7-day trial and watch the entire back catalog to see if it's for you, and watch my Mars Edit tutorial. In the meantime, if you go over to podfeet.com, you can see a teaser video on Mars Edit, or go to screencastonline.com.
Chapter mark and save.
Thank you. Are you actually authorized to do that, Steve?
Oh, I was just taking the cue from Rick.
Okay. All right. Master Steve and Wingman Kevin would sure be happy if you would. Oh, man, that's a long text expander snippet. All right, so I am going to talk in general terms about CSUN now. I didn't let you read this one, Steve.
Uh-oh. We know what happens then.
It's all new to you. Okay. All right, so now let me open this one. They're all out of order in the blog, though. All right. Oh, put the picture. Well, actually, I can do it. Copy image. This is my favorite picture from CSUN. What a bunch of dorks. So that's Shelley Brisbane on the right, and then the guy who appears to be eating my shoulder for no apparent reason is Jeff Bishop. And then in the background, you can see Mike DeWeese, and the woman in the front is a new friend. Her name is Neha. What was her last name? I want to remember her last name. I just met her.
Cowgirl.
Yeah, blind cowgirl something or other. Aliha Dudley is her name. Anyway, we will talk about them in a second here. Okay, muting Steve. Well, like I told you up front, Steve and I attended the CSUN Assistive Tech Conference, and I want to tell you a little bit about it. You're going to be hearing the very few interviews we did on the exhibit hall floor this week and next week, but we did more than the exhibit hall this year. I'm going to abbreviate the name of the conference to just call it CSUN, as most people do. But it's kind of misleading because CSUN actually stands for Cal State University at Northridge. But just work with me here. CSUN, I mean the CSUN Assistive Tech Conference. Well, normally we only go to the exhibit hall, but this year we were granted full passes to attend the conference's press. I wish we'd been able to spend the entire week there, but we were only there for one day. Right as we walked in, I noticed on the schedule there was a presentation all about the Wave tool from WebAIM. You may remember me talking about WebAIM just last week. They're the people that wrote the Web 1 Million report about what kind of accessibility problems websites commonly have, and provide the Wave tool to test your own site for accessibility. In case you missed it, the Wave tool shows little flags on your web page to show you where you're, say, missing alt tags on images, maybe where your contrast is too low, and where you're missing labels on forms, and more things like that. I had a great time for the last 2 weeks cleaning up all of the mistakes I've been making on podfeet.com. I did way more after I told you about it, and it's looking pretty good right now. I've got a couple of little things I got to fix still, but other than that, I think it's really good. One of the errors it caught was that the search bar input form is missing a label, so screen readers can't tell the user what the input is for. This isn't something I can control, though. So I wrote to my theme vendor, Site Origin. I really like Site Origin because they responded immediately. They said, "Got it, heard you, we'll have it fixed in the next version of the theme." Good on them, as Rose would say. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to hear the presentation by WebAIM by a gentleman named Jared Smith. Most of his charts explained what I've already explained to you. He talked about the different panes and what the explanations mean. He talked a lot about how they've worked really hard on the documentation that pops up when you hit the little question marks next to each of the tools. I would agree. They've done a great job on that. He made the point that they tried to be succinct and yet give you enough information to help you understand. And, that's kind of a delicate balance. And I think they really have hit the mark. The one thing they didn't explain very well or didn't have any good explanation of is what is AA versus AAA. But I think they assume people had enough knowledge of what WCAG, the organization that makes these standards, had in mind. So, but I may drop them a note to suggest they write a wee bit more info on that. Anyway, before the presentation started, I went up to Jared to explain that we were there as press, and so we were probably going to duck in and out of a bunch of different sessions so we could cover a lot of the show. I didn't want him to think I was just rude, and the only chairs were in the very front row. But the cool thing was when I introduced myself, Jared said he'd seen my work on this whole topic. How cool is that? Well, in case you're reading or listening, hi, Jared. All right. Well, I've been using WebAM's manual tools for my own site, but Jared explained that they also have tools for business and enterprise. They have something called Wave Runner. This tool will analyze up to 10,000 web pages for only $500, and then it creates this detailed spreadsheet-style report within 5 days for your company. They also license their Wave standalone API, and there's also a third-party company called Dynalytics who will do a lot of the heavy lifting for you on getting your websites into compliance. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time on enterprise, but if you work for a big company, it might be something to suggest they take a look at. The coolest thing Jared showed us was that they're working on a complete redesign of the interface for the Wave tool. It's entirely functional right now as it is, but to be perfectly frank, it looks a little Windows 95-ish with some help by some open source developers, if you get my drift. Anyway, Jared did a shout out to someone named Claudio in the audience who had come to them suggesting a redesign. Claudio showed them some mock-ups and they were sold. Jared showed us a preview of what it's going to look like, and it's going to be beautiful, especially in comparison to what we have now. I think it's going to be much easier to get the hang of using the Wave tool with the new interface. Now, they kept asking him when, and he just kept saying soon. This one woman just kept grilling him, going, yeah, so when soon? Is that like in a couple of weeks, couple months, this year? What are you talking about? And he wouldn't budge on that. The one thing that was sad during his presentation was much of the demo, where he had some screenshots anyway, he was using the website fcc.gov, a government website, and demonstrating the tool, and you should have seen how riddled it was with errors. Made me really proud of podfeed.com. Well, as is always the case for me at events like this, I learn a lot during the social events. Steve and I had the delight of having lunch with some old and new friends, and of course, we had to talk about geeky tools and what we were learning at the show. Jeff Bishop and I have been online friends forever. He was one of the people who helped me prepare for my blindfolded presentation at Macworld 100 years ago. If you haven't seen that demo, it's still up on our YouTube channel. I did my entire presentation using an iPhone and a Mac while wearing a blindfold. Without the help of people like Jeff, I never could have learned how to use VoiceOver on two devices so quickly. Well, Jeff is now a Microsoft program manager working on the Windows accessibility team, and he also podcasts and blogs over at iAccessibility.net. Now, Jeff is the kind of person Steve refers to simply as good people. Maybe I like him because he was so complimentary about the podcast we create. Now, I don't know. That might have something to do with it. For example, at the table, we were talking about programming by stealth, and Jeff jumped in with great praise for the show, especially how Bart folds accessibility into it so naturally, not bolting it on, but just making it part of the thread of everything we do there. About a year ago, I did a review of an app called Seeing AI from Microsoft. This is an app that allows the visually impaired to do so many cool things. For example, it can detect light. I remember one guy telling me he can tell if his kids have the light on when he's told them that it's lights out at night. Anyway, it can also, Seeing AI can also read short text. It can read documents out loud. It can read barcodes. It can even identify people. I bring it up now because Jeff told us at lunch that Seeing AI has been vastly improved and enhanced. I'm probably going to do a walkthrough all of the features, but reading from what's new in this version, in Seeing AI, now you can explore photos by dragging your finger around on screen, and it'll tell you where things are. That can be really useful. You can also now use Seeing AI with an iPad, and that was never possible before. They've enhanced the person channels so you can teach it someone new directly from the main screen instead of having to make that be a separate effort. Well, I loved this app before, and to see it being enhanced so much by Microsoft is really, really cool. You can download Seeing AI for free from the iOS App Store for your iPhone or now your iPad. Well, last year at CSUN, we met Mike DeWeese for the first time, and this year he joined us for lunch along with his lovely girlfriend, Aliha Dudley. By lovely, I don't just mean she was funny and engaging, but also that she's a full time student getting her degree in computer information systems, and she's a web developer, and she has this really cool seeing eye dog. I mean, that's my kind of people, right? Now, I'm not exactly sure who's in charge of iAccessibility.net, and I mentioned Jeff was on it, but I know that also she and Mike are heavily involved in that website. Well, Mike and Aliha have an interesting side business as well. They pay for a pretty heavy duty virtual private server, and from there, they host WordPress installations for people specifically tailored for accessibility. They do all of the updates for users, much like WordPress.com does, so you're free to just get in and start blogging. Mike is also an app developer and has created a Braille reference tool for iOS called Pocket Braille. It's kind of like a cheat sheet for learning Braille with separate tabs for each category of things you need to read or type. There's a tab for alphabet, numbers, punctuation, and contractions. Some of the tabs are pretty advanced stuff. So for a novice, and especially a sighted novice like me, it's not going to make a lot of sense. But for someone with more experience, or if you just stay over on the alphabet side, it's pretty darn cool. Mike is also a shortcuts fanatic and plans to write an app for it too. In the meantime, he's created a website called Beyond the Gallery, a website dedicated to all things related to Apple's shortcuts. It's really cool. It's very visually interesting, and it's got really fun graphic icons for each shortcut. They're like giant blocks on the page, and you dive into each one and you can see what that shortcut does. He's got shortcuts in categories of developer, entertainment, general, networking, photography, social networking, travel, and utilities. I've been looking for a good place to see shortcuts people actually use, so I plan on poking around in there quite a bit. I tried playing with a shortcut called Website Font Changer, and it's pretty cool. So let's say you go to a site that has a font that's made for teenager eyes. Launch the shortcut, and it asks you, what font size do you want? I really like you can see his JavaScript right under the request for font size. Makes me feel right at home. Anyway, after you enter the font size, it asks for permission to modify that website's pages, and boom, the font is increased. That doesn't work on all websites, but it works on podfeed.com. So go check out Beyond the Gallery at beyondthegallery.app. Isn't that cool? The website is .app. It's because he's going to make it into an app. Finally, during lunch, Shelley Brisbane, author of the book iOS Access for All and host of the Parallel podcast, told us something interesting she'd noticed on the exhibit hall floor. Probably the most common thing you see on the show floor is magnifiers. But what Shelley noticed was that there were companies now using iPads for this. She asked these people why, and the 2 or 3 she talked to said, because people have iPads and people want iPads. Kind of a cool little nugget to keep in the back of our minds. Hey, I told you I learned a lot at lunch, right? Well, we went to one more session and it was really interesting. It was Dr. Michelle Williams, a senior UX researcher, talking about her findings on behalf of the publishing company Pearson about the experiences of US undergraduates and graduate students with disabilities. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it turned out to be pretty interesting. She interviewed 17 students to talk to them about their experience as children from elementary school through college and into graduate school. Now, she didn't have a specific set of questions to start with. She started with some very general questions like, what was it like to go to school? As she went through these interviews, she was able to uncover some really interesting perspectives. Dr. Williams got a wide spread of people with different experiences. She had young college students and returning college students. She had male and female interviews. She talked to people who had traumatic brain injuries that affected their memory. She talked to someone in a wheelchair since they were 14. She talked to someone with a couple of different people with severe anxiety and someone with Tourette's. And normally a sample set of only 17 interviews wouldn't be considered valid with which to make conclusions, but I found her conclusions pretty compelling. I can't reproduce the depth of what she discovered, but she was able to advise Pearson and the schools for whom or for which they make the curriculum on some pretty important topics. Things like length of absences might need to be modified for someone undergoing cancer treatment, and just having an accessibility office might not be of help to someone who believes that it can't help them. Her slides will be available at accessibility.pearson.com, but as of right now, they're not up yet. I need to write to Pearson. It's not a secure site. But anyway, She is continuing her research through online studies, and she encourages people to sign up via a survey she has at SurveyMonkey. And of course, there's a link in the show notes. Now, she didn't say how much, but these are paid studies via Amazon gift cards. Go check that out. Well, bottom line is Steve and I always enjoy CSUN's Assistive Technology Conference, and this was no different. Being able to go to the sessions was very interesting, and I hope our coverage will encourage you to learn more about accessibility and the cool tools being developed. Whew.
That was a long one.
Okay. I have two things wrong in this post. One really weird,
Typo?
Specificities. She didn't have a specificities. Let me find that word.
Did you mean specific?
We're going to find out. Specifics, I think. She didn't have a specific. Oh, itty's got in there. And then there's another word. What was it? Oh, I'm missing a seeing AI. Oh, how am I going to find that? Because it's the word that's missing that's important. No, so what's seeing AI? I'm bringing it up now because Jeff told us that AI has been. There we go. Jeff told. Miss anything fun in the chat room?
Not too much. I was just checking out who will be joining us. Looks like.
Oh, good.
Rick will. Sandy can if she can arrange it, and John can if he can move his lunch.
Who did you say first? Dave will?
Rick.
Okay, good.
Dave will try. But Rick is reminding you, save and
chapter markers.
2 a.m. Right. Come on. Kaylee, you can do it. Oh, you will be. Oh,
yeah, but
yeah. You sound crazy, so you will be, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's just fine for Kaylee.
Yeah.
I'm now going to play something by... we're at 5:30 already. See why I had to go, Steve?
Yeah, and you've got a
lot left. Yeah, but you have to give me those recordings, dear.
Yeah, that's right. I should do that.
Yeah, it would. Can you put them on my desktop? Don't make me go to the Drobo. What am I looking for? I'm looking for. Oh, I have to go to Dropbox for that. Dropbox podcast. Z card is down at the bottom here. Sleep phones, there it is. All right. We'll give you a few seconds of Alistair, but we're going to have to keep moving. Tools being developed.
Back.
Oh, nope, he doesn't introduce himself. I don't think. Listen a second.
Back when I was a teenager, I always used to leave my homework.
Okay, let's take a break from CSUN and have a listen to Alistair Jenks' latest review. Being developed. Okay, let's see a little click there I don't like. All right, we'll move Alistair right here. Jenks' latest review.
Back when I was a teenager, I always used to...
Oh, lost my chapter mark.
Uh-oh.
Are you making fun of me?
No, I wouldn't do that. Not the host of the show.
Sleep phones, pajamas for your ears.
Oh, that's very comforting. Unless it's hot.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. No, he's going into winter now, right? Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's fall.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I did a write-up on that laser eye thing. This will be pretty quick, Steve.
Ooh. Kaylee's throwing shade here.
Uh-oh.
Good thing I didn't have breakfast. I wouldn't have had room for all this sauce. Man, you cut us deep there, Kaylee.
But I'm going with laser beams now.
Oh, that's right.
Come on. Rotisserie with lasers. There we go. All right.
Some.
Mm.
Sleep in the knowledge that someone, something, is listening.
Well, thanks for that, Alistair. Let's kick back into a little bit of CSUN here. Like I said, we have 3 video/audio reviews from CSUN's. Nope, they aren't reviews, they're interviews. Interviews.
It's that someone, something.
Thanks for that, Alistair. Really appreciate it. Back to something about CSUN. No, that sounds stupid. Like I said up front, we have 3 video/audio interviews from CSUN's Assistive Technology Conference, but there was one product where we didn't do an interview, and yet it was a pretty interesting product. The product is called the Retissa Retinal Projection Eyewear from QD Laser. This is a glasses-type piece of eyewear that projects the outside world directly onto your retina using low-powered lasers. I almost said high-powered. That would be a bad idea. Anyway, low-powered lasers. The problem to be solved here is a cloudy cornea or cataracts that normally would occlude your vision. The Retissa completely bypasses the lens in your eye and focuses directly onto the retina without using your lens or anything. I tried on the Retissa eyewear, and in a tiny projection screen on my right eye, I could see very clearly whatever they pointed me toward. The gentleman showing it to me was holding a deck of card-side box, and with controls on the box, he could zoom in and out for me. Next, he began playing a video for me. Not quite sure where the source was, but it was a video of a turtle swimming in the ocean, and it was extremely sharp in my vision. Finally, they showed that they could control what I was seeing via a connected iPad using the camera to project the image onto my retina. Now, you may be wondering why we didn't do an interview, and it was because both of the gentlemen that we were talking to had a great deal of trouble pronouncing English words, and it took quite a while talking to them to understand what they were telling us. But I don't think it would have been a good audio interview. Well, anyway, at the end of this, I wanted to take a picture of the eyewear, and one of the men kind of held my hand and kept moving my iPhone closer and closer to the inside of the glasses until I was essentially touching that area where this little optical area was that my eye was normally in front of. So he was putting me way too close. And I was going to try to explain to him my iPhone can't focus that close until I realized that their laser focusing technology was sending a perfect signal to the lens on my iPhone. That really showed me that there was something interesting going on here. I put a couple of photos in the show notes so you can see what I mean. Now, this isn't the kind of product you're going to go out and buy for yourself, but rather a proof of concept. And many of these products we saw were only available through your vision specialist, and this is definitely in that category. Anyway, it was really cool to see these advancements in technology every year at CSUN. Hey, Steve, look at. Oh, no, that's right. Okay. This preview is all messed up. There's a bug in Mars Edit after all those nice things I said.
What happened?
There's just a bug that my preview does not look as good as it should.
In one of the images?
Well, no, just all kinds of things get messed up. Like I can see the video embed code, but I can't see the video on that. Like when you look at that QD laser page, do you see a video on the page?
Yep.
Yeah, not me.
You're talking about the preview view of the post
inside Mars Edit. Normally, I can see a good. Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
All right. Time for an ad here. Drink some Mawa. Wow, Rick is more interesting in his reminders.
Yeah. By the way, did you get the last
1, 2, 3? It's time to save.
Did you get the last chapter marker prior to this? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to do one right now because it's an ad. I'm going to let people skip that easy. It's really quick. I like to make them short enough it's not worth pushing the button, right? All right, here we go. talk a lot about Patreon as a way to help support the Podfeed podcast. But if that model doesn't sit right with you, there's another way to help. You can be like Kurt, who gets value out of the shows, and he demonstrated his appreciation this week by going to the big PayPal donation button over on podfeed.com. His contributions will help make it possible for us to keep bringing you the high-quality shows we've been making for nearly 14 years. If you want to remember how to get there, go to podfeed.com/PayPal. Thanks, Kurt, for your contribution to the Podfeed podcast. Okay, and there's another typo. I was typing quick tonight. Let's see. Where is it? His. It was HIS. There it is. Got it. All right. What's up next? Okay. You better have given me some video to work with here, Steve.
Should be on your desktop.
Desktop. See some audio. So what do we got today? This one is Proloco. Okay, nothing is called Proloco to go. Is that Assistiveware? Sonova or
that's
Accutech?
The company Assistiveware.
Okay. All right. So I should probably put in a chapter though, because Rick will get on my case if I don't. Rick wants me to save. Man, he's making me do an awful lot of work.
Yeah. Taskmaster.
So this woman was really funny. She was from the Netherlands, and for the life of her, she could not pronounce the name of that product, right, Steve? I swear she was saying Prologo. It's Proloquo.
Maybe the Q's are not the same in Dutch.
Yeah, I asked her, I said, is that a Q's. G on the sign? What is that? Oh, that's a fancy sausage grinder. Wow, all right, I have saved. I'm going to play you the opening, though, because it's pretty funny. For your contribution to the Podfeed podcast. I'm in the Assistiveware booth, and I'm about to talk to, wait for it, Barbara van et Westende from the Netherlands, and we're going to say hi to Helma and Joop while we're here. How you doing today, Barbara?
I'm fine. How are you?
Did I pull off your name pronunciation okay?
You did it very good.
All right, so Barbara has a 12.9-inch iPad Pro, it looks like, in her hand here, and she's got a product called Proloco to Go. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. And Proloco to Go is an AAC app. AAC for augmentative and alternative communication. So it's an app you can use if you can't communicate like you and I do by using speech. It's a symbol-based AAC app. And for people who know AAC, the word symbol-based will be clear, I think.
Okay, but none of my listeners, or maybe only a few will.
Yeah. So symbol-based means you use pictures to communicate.
Okay. The app, you tap on images on the screen to say what you want to say.
Yeah, true. So if I tap the word like, and maybe we can hear it, it will say like or.
So this is a pretty cool device. It's one of these apps that gives you all these buttons you can press to say what you want to say when you can't speak. And one of the enhancements is you can record your own words now. So I made her let me record me saying MacBook Pro on it. I thought it was fun.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised it didn't already have that button.
I know. Well, it did have computer and it had Macintosh.
Yeah, and
the symbol was a 512K Mac, which was really fun.
Classic.
Okay. Ooh, I got a long review to read here.
Chapter marker in there?
I don't yet.
Aha.
Uh-huh. 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 Okay, here you go.
I don't know if I can recall that one.
Oh, come on, Steve. Really? That's Saturday Night Live tryouts for Saturday Night Live by...
Oh, Dana Carvey.
Dana
Carvey trying out, his audition for SNL.
Yeah. Acting like he got it.
All you gave me was tryout. Maybe Saturday
and Saturday Night Live.
Okay. But I got the actor.
Good.
The comedian.
All right. Oh, that's cool, Kaylee. She says, I've used an app like this in class before for students that have a hard time verbalizing English. That's pretty nifty.
Good idea.
All right. Muting Steve. This can be a long one here. Oh, actually, do you want to bring your Unravel in here so I can hold it up for the audience? Or you could while I'm talking. You have yours in the box on your desk.
But it's not unraveled.
Well, you can unravel it for him while I'm talking.
I normally don't like to have my video up.
Yeah, but now you have something to show.
But I might. How about the sound?
Beg him to do it. No, you have to have no sound.
Okay, I'm going to mute. This will be a quiet demo.
Now that we in the Apple community have gotten a taste for wireless charging, we want it on all the things. We're not content to have just our Apple Watch and iPhones charge wirelessly. We want our AirPods to charge wirelessly too. Great news, though. In September of 2017, Apple promised us AirPower. This magical device will bring us a charging mat where we can just throw down any one of these 3 devices and they will magically charge. But then 2018 kind of came and went and still no AirPower. The spring is nearly gone in 2019 and still we grumble about how we have to plug in our AirPods like animals. Well, the long interminable wait is over, but it didn't come from Apple. And it doesn't cost $150 like the predictions are saying for AirPower. And it doesn't require us to buy new AirPods to wirelessly charge. I'm talking about the Ampere Unravel. You may remember Steve and me interviewing Ampere co-founder Chase Larson at CES, and his description of Unravel sounded magical. Well, after talking to Chase, I knew I needed to buy Unravel for myself. Ampere chose to go with the crowdfunding model for Unravel, and under normal circumstances, I would never suggest buying that way. But when Chase told us at CES that they were actually shipping the product, I decided to check it out. Turns out they're selling both through Indiegogo and Kickstarter at the same time, which seems kind of weird. Both campaigns are way more than funded. Their Indiegogo campaign has raised $640,000, and their Kickstarters raised another $385,000 for combined backing of over $1 million. So clearly people want to get this. I got to tell you, if you have to choose which one to go to, if you're visually impaired, definitely go to the Indiegogo page, because all of the information on the different products on the Kickstarter page are in one giant long graphic, which makes it 100% inaccessible. So I did write to Chase suggesting that that was super dumb, but it's fine. Go over to Indiegogo and it works great over there. Well, I now have Unravel in my hot little hand so we can talk in detail about the product. Unravel is 3 separate sections, each 3.5-inch square with 3 10-watt charging pads. Not 3 on each, 3 total. Anyway, the 3 sections are hinged together, and you can fold it so that all 3 sections are stacked, or you can unravel it to fold out flat. You can also fold it into a triangle so you've got an easel for holding and charging 2 devices at a time. Unravel is black and comes in different accent colors. I chose baby blue accents for Steve and a red one for me. Each section of Unravel has a ring of this accent color designating where the Qi charging coils are. Before I go further into the explanation, let me explain how to use Unravel. You plug it into power, drop any Qi charging capable device onto one of the circles, and you'll see a little blue light turn on showing you that your device is charging. Now, one of the problems Apple is struggling with, as explained by Renee Ritchie, is that AirPower is supposed to let you drop your devices anywhere on the charging pad, which means they have to make the coils work everywhere, no matter whether it's a phone or a watch or AirPods. In contrast, on Unravel, one of the 3 sections comes with a little white sticker showing a watch symbol in the center. That section has the magnetic watch puck built into it. The good news is that this section can also charge a phone, solving the problem that reportedly has been plaguing Apple. Now, if you don't like the sticker for the watch, you can take it off, and that'll reveal a hemispherical indent so you can still tell it's the one for the watch, especially by feel. You're doing a great job, Steve. Keep doing it. I like the Carol Merrill thing you're doing there.
I feel I need voice.
Do you? Nope.
No, it's too noisy. Muting.
Okay, good. Good. Mute yourself. Okay. Ampere has tried to make buying Unravel as flexible as possible. For example, you can buy Unravel without a charger block. Now, that sounds crazy, but it does make sense. You see, Unravel charges over USB-C, and the charger they sell is a 60-watt power delivery, or PD, charger which is the same as the charger that comes with the 13-inch MacBook Pro. So if you already have a charger, why should they make you buy another one? I couldn't resist the temptation to experiment charging Unravel or using Unravel to charge things with some USB-C cables and chargers I had lying around. I knew it would be no contest to test it with the 87-watt beast of a charger for my 15-inch MacBook Pro, but what about the dainty 29-watt charger that came with my 12-inch MacBook Pro? I put two iPhone 10s's on Unravel with the 29-watt charger along with my Apple Watch, and all three triggered the little blue lights to come on, and the devices reported that they were charging. Now, I certainly didn't get 10 watts on each of the pads, but my Apple Watch didn't need that many watts. Well, next up, I tried the even more diminutive 17-watt USB-C iPad Pro charger. Yep, still charged the two iPhones and the watch. If it were for all the whining about all the math I've been getting on the podcast lately, David, I'd walk through calculating how much I was actually drawing on those devices, but let's just leave that for the student. In any case, you're going to have different chargers than me, and maybe you're going to have an Android phone you want to charge, so you can do the experiments on your own. Now, speaking of charging, realize that if you do buy the charger block for Unravel, you now have a spare charger for your 13-inch MacBook Pro, MacBook, and iPads, and of course, non-Apple USB-C PD devices that you own. That's pretty cool. When you check out, you get to choose what country plugs you want. They have the US, UK, EU, Australia, Hong Kong, and Singapore. I've been teasing you by not telling you about the cost. I'm going to quote the Indiegogo pricing because the Kickstarter page is so hard to read, inaccessible, and they don't have as many product options available. So get this. Under the Indiegogo campaign, one Unravel is only $69. If you want that MacBook Pro capable charger, it's only $20 more at $89. Think about it. A charger for your phones and watch for $89, and you've got a spare MacBook Pro charger. Crazy inexpensive. Now, they imply by their marketing on Indiegogo that this will be $139 later instead of $89, but I contend that even at that, that'd be a killer price. Now, the reason I bought Steve and me our own Unravels when probably one would have been enough is because they're selling two Unravels with two chargers and travel cases for Unravel or the charger, all for a total of $139 right now. That's only $70 a piece with the charger. Seriously. By the way, I thought the travel case would carry both Unravel and its charger, but you notice the way I said it? It's the way they said it on their website. It actually says or. That was kind of a disappointment to me. I wanted a case for both the Unravel and the cable. I don't think Unravel by itself needs a case because it feels pretty indestructible. I think I'll probably use the case as a way to package the charger and its USB-C cable to reduce clutter in my travel bag. There's a bunch of other combos you can buy on the Indiegogo site. They have a 3-pack. They also have they sell a USB-C power bank, so you can make this a truly mobile setup for charging. I think they have a deal if you want to buy 10 too. Okay. Now, the alert amongst you will remember that I was comparing Unravel to AirPower, which in theory, if the unicorn ever ships, will also charge a yet unannounced Generation 2 set of AirPods with Qi charging built into the new case. So how does Unravel charge the current version of AirPods? If you go through the process of buying Unravel, after you choose your color and plugs and case color, they'll offer to sell you a Qi charging case for your AirPods that they call Pods Wireless Charging Case. Imagine an AirPods case that was 16 to 18% thicker and taller and wider, and inside that case, you can see a little lightning connector sticking up. You slide the original AirPods case into the Ampere Pods case, and they mate on that connector. The Pods case has a Qi coil on the back, which allows you to charge their AirPods wirelessly. Now, since it's the industry standard Qi charging in this Pods case, you can charge your AirPods on any Qi charger, not just Unravel. I tested it on a cheap easel charger for my iPhone. I charged it on the Bezalel charging pad I reviewed a couple of years ago. And of course, on Unravel, it also worked perfectly. Like any wireless charging, this is going to be slower than using the cable. Speaking of the cable, once you put your AirPods case inside the Pods Qi case, you will no longer have access to the lightning connector, so you cannot charge with a cable. Now, it is possible to get the original AirPods case out of the new one, but you have to know the trick. The lid of the Ampere Pods case has a little rubber hinge because the top has to slip over the real AirPods case. If you open the lid on the pods case and sort of jiggle it around on that rubber hinge, the AirPods lid will be stiff and it will pop out of the pods lid. Now you can grip the AirPods case to pull it out. The pairing button is also replicated on the back of the Ampere Pods case, so you can still pair to non-Apple devices with the new AirPods case. Not needed all that often, but nice that it's there. One other thing, I didn't see anywhere in the packaging that the lightning cable in the Ampere Pods wireless charging case was Apple MFI certified. So, decide how you feel about that. I'd also love to tell you how much the Pods case cost from Ampere, but I forgot to note it when I bought it, and it looks like they didn't charge me for it at all. I have my invoice, and I just paid the $139 for 2 Unravels, 2 cases, and 2 chargers, plus $5 shipping and no tax. I mentioned in the very beginning that you can lay Unravel flat on a table, but you can also fold it up into a triangle. When you do this, the side with the watch charger and one other side have a little flip out thingy that lets you stand up your phone. If you have it in portrait mode, Unravel doesn't come up far enough on the iPhone XS to engage the Qi charging. Might on a different type of phone, though, maybe a smaller phone. You can't put your phone in landscape mode on the little easel, and the charging will engage. I recommend buying Alistair Jenks' awesome Night Clock iOS app, link in the show notes, and using Unravel as your stand so you have a clock that dims at night. It's Steve's favorite travel clock. You can also stick your Apple Watch to the magnetic puck side with Unravel in its triangular shape, and it'll actually hang there in nightstand mode. The magnet is strong enough. Now, I'm not sure I'd buy the Unravel case given the chance to do this over again. In fact, they forgot to include Steve's case, and I asked for my money back on it rather than have them send me another one. Not sure I have a complaint, though, since I got the AirPods case for free. Anyway, I haven't gotten a response out of them yet, and I did escalate to the COO, and he hasn't responded either, which kind of gives me pause about what you can expect in terms of customer service. I did get an email in January explaining that the travel cases were on back order and it would delay shipment of my entire order. Maybe they threw in the Pods case as a bonus because I didn't get the case? I don't know. Well, the bottom line, though, is that Ampere Unravel itself is a fantastic device that's flexible to your needs, really inexpensive, and for an extra $20, you get a MacBook Pro level charger. Having Qi charging for my AirPods using Ampere's Pods case is awesome, and I definitely recommend both of these products. Wow.
That's a long one. You had a few long ones tonight.
Yeah, hang on. Well, I've got no Bart this week.
So Rick is
45
asking,
minutes.
There's a lot of talk about AirPower. Do you want to just tell people what that is, Rick?
Oh, what it is?
Yeah.
I described it in detail.
Well, I'm not sure everyone. Rick does know. Oh, just having fun.
Oh, okay. I'm going to turn my brightness way down so you can see this because it's pure white. Boy, that's still bright. I'm going to keep bringing it down. It's about as low as I can get it. So this is the case.
Do you have a white display on your computer right now?
Actually, you know what I could do? I'll turn this light off. How's that? It's a little better. So you see this little rubbery thing here. So this is the rubber thing I was talking about. If you look in there, I don't know if you can see the detail. Can you tell me if you could see that detail, the edge, that there's something inside of something. So what I was talking about was you kind of wiggle it like this, and that just sort of pops that off, and then you can close them. And then if you're good at it, you can pull it out. So there's the difference in size of the two cases.
And show the connector difference.
And then, and then down inside there's the lightning connector.
And then that thing is only chargeable via Qi.
Once you stick it in, you can only have Qi charging.
Qi, okay.
But it does have, I don't know if you can see the detail. There is a button on the back there too. It's hard because it's so bright.
What's the button?
That's the replicates this button on the back of the AirPods that lets you sync to or pair to other devices. So you drop it in there, and then you go like that, and Qi charging on your AirPods. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
It's been in the news forever, Steve. He's saying now he's making fun of you, Steve.
Well,
By the time somebody does he not understand his wingman job? Is he supposed to support you at all costs?
All right, someone joined us here.
Who joined us?
Ada's climbing around, so if
Uh-oh. All right. Final interview. Which one am I doing? Accutech. Is this the woman that reminds you of the woman from Best in Show?
Yes.
So if any of you guys have seen Best in Show, can you post a link of the woman that you're talking about?
The one in Best in Show or the one you interviewed?
Wait a minute. Accutech isn't for low vision. Oh, this isn't the one. Accutech is the woman.
Oh yeah, we're not posting that one this week. That's next week.
We're posting Accutech, right?
Yes, but that's not the one.
That's not the woman. Never
Right.
mind. This third interview was for the hearing impaired, and this woman her accent sounds just like this. Oh, well, I can't compete with that. John says, I will tell Kevin you did an excellent job to deserve a promotion. All right. Do I have an assistant wing woman? I'm not sure.
Sandy does it all.
Yeah. I don't know. Rose could do it. Or Lindsay or Dorothy.
Irreplaceable.
Maybe let's this here. Both of these products.
I'm in the Accutech booth with Sarah Lovejoy, and I'm holding in my hand a little tiny rectangular box, weighs practically nothing, that apparently has a lens in it. And Sarah's going to tell us what I'm holding and what kind of products they make here at Accutech.
We make bioptics, and you are holding a capillary.
Wait, what's a bioptic?
It's a telescope.
She's already used two words I don't know. What is a bioptic?
So it's a telescope, and it's going to attach to the top of your glasses, and it allows you to see distance vision. So,
okay. And I like distance vision. Don't have a lot of that.
So, and
she was real nervous, so I was goofing on her and got her laughing a bunch. So it was pretty fun. She was very sweet. All right. 50 minutes without Bart. That's pretty good. Thanks to Alistair and Steve. All right. No more chapters, but I will save. All right. I'm going to mute you, Steve. I'm closing it out.
Close.
Sorry, cut you right off.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Do not forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, and suggestions. How do you do that? You email me. I had a guy ask me who'd listened to the show for years, how do I send you an email? I literally say it every week. Allison@podfeet.com. Pretty easy to figure out, too. If you want to follow me on Twitter, what do you think it is? @Podfeet. If you want to find our Facebook group, podfeet.com/Facebook. You want to join our Slack community, podfeet.com/Slack. You want to donate through Patreon? podfeet.com/Patreon. How about that PayPal donation? podfeet.com/PayPal. You want to use our, the live chat for the 25th, podfeet.com/chat. You want to use the Amazon affiliate links? podfeet.com/Amazon. Whatever you're thinking, whatever you want to see, it's podfeet.com/whatever that thing is. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic nosillacast. We missed you this week, Kevin. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Hey, you unmuted before I was done talking.
Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Ada's trying to attack the chapstick.
Is she getting rambunctious?
Yeah.
I like cats. I just can't eat a whole one by myself. Oh, that's funny. That's good stuff right there. I'm not sure the cat lovers would approve of that, but I think it's funny. Rick's exhausted from his hard work.
Yeah, did you get all your chapter markers in there? Because there should be a lot.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I count 9.
Dare you to figure out. Nope.
So Apple events you probably did not chapter mark.
Correct.
Oh, Kaylee. Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, Elf. That's
haven't
good
seen
stuff.
Elf in ages.
No, that's awesome.
a cat sub. So you probably didn't bookmark
subscribed.
Apple events.
Right.
Did you bookmark Freepy?
No. I never bookmarked Chit Chat.
Okay, then that
and
would be
stay subscribed. All right. I think we are a wrap. What do you think? We're going to call it 5:04. Uh-oh. God bless you.
I need a
Kleenex?
button I can get to quickly.
All right, everybody. I think it is... they still show from time to time. That's funny. All right. I think I'm going to call it. Yep. Goodbye, everybody. Oh. Bye, Rose. Say goodbye, Steve.
Bye-bye, Gracie.